everybody. Welcome back to Central Valley Talk Live. Thank you for joining us. It is the 21st of September, and I'm Austin Reed, coming to you from our Tower District studios inside the Mike Briggs building. We thank you for joining us. Connect with me anytime on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Austin Reed on Air. Time to bring in our guest, and we are talking to a children's author now, and his name is Steve. Steve, how do you say your last name? I don't want to mess it up.
Oh, it's Altier.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm good, Austin. Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. So this is really cool. You're a children's author, but a different kind of children's author. You focus on the paranormal, ghosts and spirits and all that good stuff. And especially as Halloween is coming up, this is perfect to introduce you and your books to our viewers.
Well, yeah, I like to write a young adult paranormal mystery suspense, more of a spine-tingling, edge-of-your-seat adventure stories versus spooky and trying to scare someone to death. But
so there's a little bit of paranormal, but then a little bit of...
Got to keep you on the edge of your seat, guessing what's going to happen next.
Well, so let's start with your story. How long have you been a young adult book author for?
I've been writing about 12 years, published 10 years ago. I started off writing middle grade chapter books, just good, wholesome family stories for young kids. And I was at a Barnes & Noble one day, and a couple of young boys, probably 12, 13 years old, come up, looked at the cover, and they're like, dude, this is for babies. You know, so what do you got for us? Yeah. And it reminded me of my childhood where I grew up, and I decided to go ahead and start writing some spooky stories and stepping up my game a little bit.
So do you have a new book that's been recently released? Yeah,
The Ghost Hunter recently came out. It did very well, hit number 83 on the Amazon bestseller list for ghost stories, young adult ghost stories.
To get that ranking, how did that make you feel?
Still hard to believe sometimes. Still hard to believe, but yeah, it's a great feeling. One that's just like every time I meet a reader that wants me to sign a book for them, it's just a wonderful feeling.
So tell me, with this latest book that just came out, kind of go over the process of the writing.
Well, a lot of times it's just a story that comes to mind, and then I start jotting down notes, keeping track of everything. I know how I want something usually to begin, a lot of middle, and how I want it to end. But when you start writing it, sometimes it takes on a world of its own and a path of its own. And inspiration comes, and you just start going in different directions than you thought you were going to. Yeah. I'm more of what they call a pantser. So there are plotters that detail everything out, and then there are pantsers, guys like me, that I do my best writing when I'm just flying by the seat of my pants.
Yeah, no, that's I love it. Do you so let's talk about this latest your latest book. Can you kind of walk us through it without giving any big things away?
Well, it's a young character. He's 16 years old. His name is Gerald Pickle, and I just love the name Pickle. And I'll tell you, I was going down the road one day, my wife and I, we saw a delivery truck delivering pickles, and there was just this pickle on the side, and I'm like, what if I had a character named Pickle? So this it's a 16-year-old kid. He's facing his worst fears. He's going to college. He's a brainiac kid. He's 1 point shy of being a genius, and he's always been bullied and picked on his whole life. People have made fun of his name. He's Green Pickle, Pickle, Picklehead, Green Pickle, so he doesn't like bullies, and he's facing his worst fears. He's going to college. He wants to change things for himself, and he wants to fit in. He just desperately wants to fit in. And when he gets to college, he realizes that there's a group of boys sitting there that are all wearing black t-shirts. And he's like, oh boy, they've got to be the campus bullies. So he runs and he hides in the library to get away from them, where he has a ghostly encounter. And it's the boys who wear the black that come to his rescue. And he comes to find out they're ghost hunters, and they incorporate him to join the team. and he's got a gift for drawing ghosts out. And once he gets them out, he wants to do more than just. He realizes I want to do more than just see ghosts. I want to help the ghost cross over.
Right. I love it. Now, question: are you a paranormal fan?
I am. I have been asked numerous times to go on ghost hunts. I've gone on a few.
Cool.
We were in St. Louis doing a show, and there was a place on the other side of the river. It's a small town called Alton, Illinois.
Okay.
And there's a place called the McPike Mansion. So my wife and I were driving by. I begged her to stop, and we pulled in. And this woman comes out of the house next door, and she's like, can I help you guys? I'm like, yeah, I'm a paranormal writer. I heard your house is haunted, and I just wanted to check it out. She goes, well, I'm the owner, and so let's go in. So she took us inside. My daughter and I are down in the basement. We're talking. We're filming some stuff. There's an old furnace down there. There's nothing going on. We get back to the hotel. I am looking at the film. There's a couple of white spots that come up and kind of dance around and then just take off. And Sharon, she's the owner. I sent her the video, and she said, that's the family. They have orbs. And they came to check out what were you doing in their basement?
Right.
So I was like, that was really cool. And the bodies are actually the family's still buried on the property. The gravestones and the headstones, everything is still there on the property.
So yeah, there's definitely there's something there.
But no, I grew up in a small town in central Pennsylvania called Mill Hall.
Okay.
The road that went through there was called Lizardville Road. I wrote a couple of books called Lizardville Ghost Stories. And there was an old abandoned axe factory across the street from where I lived. My parents, in 1969, bought the dam keeper's house. So when most kids were going to the playground, checking the swing sets and the slides, me and my buddies were over at the old axe factory. Only because Mom said, hey, don't go there.
Well, I'm a big paranormal guy, and I've been on many ghost hunts. And with Halloween coming up, if you're watching us live right now or on our replay, you still have time to pick up Steve's book. Amazon, best way to get it?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And then, do you have like a Instagram or Facebook that you want us to, or if you'd like to direct our viewers to?
Sure. I mean, you can go to my website. My Instagram is at author Steve Altier. My Twitter is stevealtier1. And you can go to my website. It's stevealtier.com. And if you were looking to buy like a signed copy of one of my books, you can purchase it through my website. The only thing is you have to pay the shipping.
No worries. Cool.
But
well, I'm sure
cover
it's
or
worth it.
paperback.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Well, Steve, happy early Halloween. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to have you on back because I would imagine you have more stories to write.
Oh, absolutely. I've got several in the works. I actually just signed a 5-year, 10-book deal with Four Horsemen Publications.
Really?
Yes, I'm really excited to have to share that with you. And I've just started sharing it last week on social media.
Oh, congrats.
Well, thank you.
That's amazing. Wow. All right. Well, Steve, thank you again for your time. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me, Austin. I really appreciate being on the show.
All right. I'm Austin Reed. You're watching Central Valley Talk. We'll be back with more right after this.